I am very excited for this week's video. We are making a Malaysian style pork belly sandwich. God damn! Let's get into it. And let's just quickly unpack this bad boy. We're going to have some beautiful soft brioche buns, slow cooked pork belly that's absolutely melting in your mouth, served with a delicious, sticky kind of garlicky, chili, sweet, saucy thing going on. Served on top of some amazing slaw. There's just going to be like no slaw you've ever had before. It's going to have hints of chili, zesty and citrusy, a little bit of mayo for richness. It's just going to be so damn good. So without further ado, I'm going to stop talking about this thing. Let's go make it. Okie dokie, so you're going to grab a 600 gram piece of boneless pork belly, and then we're going to season every single side of this nice and heavily with some salt and also some freshly cracked black pepper. Make sure we get every single side because this is a dry brine and we want it to really penetrate into the meat. After you have let this sit for 1 hour and dry brine, we're going to rinse this under some cold water. Make sure you rinse this thoroughly for a couple of minutes. We really don't want too much salt being left on the pork belly. You're going to pat your pork belly dry with a bit of kitchen towel, and then we're going to preheat our oven to 150 degrees Celsius. Grab yourself a large baking tray and cover that with a bit of greaseproof paper. Pop the pork belly down on there, and then we're going to wrap this in tin foil. Make sure you're using a deep-sided baking tray because we don't want the tin foil to touch the top of the pork belly, otherwise it will stick. And throw that brother into the oven for 2.5 hours and just forget about it. Oh, well, actually set a timer, don't forget that. Okie dokie, while our pork belly cooks away in the oven, let's prepare everything else, starting with the sauce. We're going to place 4 tablespoons of soy sauce into a medium-sized saucepan, along with 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, 2 tablespoons of clear honey, 2 heaped tablespoons of sambal, more or less depending on how spicy you like it, the juice from 2 whole limes, and a generous pinch of MSG. Place your saucepan onto a medium to low heat, and while stirring constantly, we're just going to bring this up to a boil. As soon as it comes to a boil, we're going to remove it from the heat, and then we're going to put in 2 cloves of minced garlic. Remember guys, I like to use a microplane. I can leave the skin on the cloves of garlic and it just makes things so much quicker. You're just going to mix that garlic into your sauce and place it to one side for later. In the meantime, let's make our slaw. So we're going to take a whole head of white cabbage and take the bottom of it off, and then we're going to cut it in half, reserving one half to one side for another use. We're going to take one of our halves and cut it into quarters and then decore the center. And then all that's left to do really is to slice this as fine as you physically can. We want to shred this super duper duper fine. You could totally use a food processor for this, but I like using a knife for it. And that's it, our cabbage is all cut, so we're just going to place that into a large bowl, and then we're going to add 100 grams of mayonnaise, 2 tablespoons of sambal, depending on how spicy you like it, the zest and juice from 1 lemon, and flaky salt to taste. And then just give the slaw a good old mix together, and that's it done. So 2.5 hours have passed now, or well, maybe not quite, but you know, after 2.5 hours have passed, your pork belly should be ready to rock. Just remove that bad boy from the oven and reveal it from its tin foil, and just look at this thing. Man, the smell, the look, it is ready to rock. I mean, seriously, damn. Let's assemble these bad boys. Place yourself a frying pan onto a low heat, and in a dry frying pan, you're just going to toast the buns low and slow. The reason we do it low and slow is we want the buns to steam so they can become nice and fluffy and light without burning the actual bun itself. And then we're just going to slice up that pork belly into as many slices as your heart desires. I went for nice, thick, chunky slices because this thing is just falling apart. It's damn amazing. I mean, just look how juicy this thing is. God damn it. Okay, to assemble these, you're just going to place some of that delicious slaw on the base of your buns, followed by some of that amazing pork belly, 2 or 3 slices, as much as your heart desires. And then the last thing to do is just coat it with all of that delicious sauce. 1 or 2 tablespoons, or as much as you want. This thing really just ties everything together and makes it all so good. And that's it. All your pork buns are done. Get your friends, your family around, and just chow down on these. you're ready to have a little pork bun party. My God, I mean, just look at them. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's recipe. Caleb out. Cha-ching. Absolutely banging. Very messy. Hope you guys have enjoyed this week's video. See you around.